Welcome to the Training Portal podcast, where we delve into the heart of growth and transformation, both personal and professional. I'm your host, Melissa Mostert, and every fortnight, I'll be sharing a meaningful conversation over coffee with industry leaders, innovators, and changemakers who are helping to shape the future of South Africa. In each episode, we'll uncover stories of passion and impact, stories that inspire and challenge us to think differently about development, innovation, and community upliftment. The Training Portal podcast is your source of knowledge and insight, guiding you through the ever-evolving landscape of development in South Africa. Welcome back to the Training Portal podcast, where we explore stories of resilience, transformation, and the power of learning. Today, we're joined once again by Anton Welman. If you've been following our podcast, you might remember our previous conversations with Anton, where we touched on his journey in the training industry. But today, we're going deeper. From his early years and his time in the military to building a successful training business, his love for adventure, and the life-changing accident that reshaped his path, Anton's story is one of grit, determination, and an unbreakable spirit. We'll talk about his recovery, his career transition, and the incredible impact he's making at Training Portal today. Anton, it's great to have you back, so let's start from the beginning. Where did it all begin for you? Anton, I want to thank you so much for joining us again on the Training Portal podcast. It is always a joy to have you with us.
Thank you. It's actually a very nice surprise every now and then, and also a pleasure to be here. Thanks.
So I think this time around, I know last time we couldn't delve into your story too much and who you are at Training Portal. So I'd like us to start from the beginning. Let's start with your early years. Where did you grow up and what was your childhood like?
I was a naughty guy. I was a naughty boy.
Tell.
I grew up in Virginia in the Free State. Mm-hmm. It's a mining town, basically. My dad was there in the administrative side. Mm. But I've been in Virginia since 1980 until 1990, where I matriculated. I know it's a long time ago.
I don't think I was born yet.
But in 1990, I matriculated at Henty Cilliers High School in Virginia. And my whole, let's say, school year time, whatever, it's about sport and sports and not the academic. I left that to my sister. She was the academic, which is very good because she's a professional doctor at the moment and so forth. So it turned out well. But I was that naughty person that went for sport and sports. I played a lot of sport. That was my thrive. I've done rugby, cricket, tennis. Let's say my highlight was with athletics, where I got my SA colors. But that was my childhood like. But I enjoyed it. I think it was good for me, and it taught me a lot of things in life actually that I didn't know and realize at that time.
Oh, so you were quite the boy's boy, loving all the sports and that. But that explains your next step in life. So did you go straight into the army after finishing school? What led you to that decision?
The issue lies with, because I wasn't really academic focused, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I didn't know what I wanted to pursue. I didn't know what I want to go and study and so forth. And at that stage, we still had to do that 1 year compulsory military training. So I decided, no, I would rather go and do that and then take some time and decide what I want to do and so forth. So yes, after matric, I immediately went to Defence Force. I was in Oudtshoorn for the first year. I became an officer and I actually enjoyed it. It was so nice that I decided, no, I still couldn't make up my mind. So let's stick with this and let's stay here. And I think there my passion started for training. From there, I came to Bloemfontein and I was always in training in the Defence Force. And I really enjoyed it. So that is where that started.
And if you look back, what are some of the most valuable lessons that you learned from your time in the army?
I think because I've been in the Defence Force up until 2003, I had a lot of years experience in that area. But I would say there's a lot of points that are standing out, if I can say it like that. First of all, I would say planning. I always say that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Then I think commitment, discipline. There's a lot of factors that influenced my life over the years that I've been there. So, yeah.
And what about after the military career? How did you transition into the training industry? I know you said that it's, where you kind of learned more about training, but what sparked your interest?
My military career, I was really enjoying that a lot, and I would have stayed there much longer. But promotional opportunities were a little bit scarce and far to fetch and limited. And because I was involved with training, I thought it would be nice to start my own training company. I thought it's going to be easy.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
And I know this, so yeah, it's going to be easy. And it wasn't that easy. But so the interest from Defence Force, basically the training side, and then I started my own training company, focusing on small things like people skills, Microsoft Office training, being a freelance facilitator and assessor and things like that. So that is how it moved. And I'm glad I gained that experience. But to be dead honest, it's not so easy to open your own business and your own company and to make it a success. It's not so easy.
But that's the thing. It was a success for a period. Can you tell us more about that whole journey, though, of making a successful training company?
Yeah, as I've said, it's very difficult. But I think there's always highlights and lowlights. I think it was very exciting when you start, also very terrifying, and the uncertainties. And I was still young, so the questions of where to start, what to do, and then you rely on what you can read and search and so forth, and it's quite difficult. So to do proper planning on what to do, where to do, and how to do it, I think that was very stressful. And then the biggest challenge was financial barrier, financial sustainability. So it's very difficult if you're doing it on your own and you need to go to do marketing. And I'm not a marketer, so I think it's a very stressful period in my life. But as I'm saying, there were some good times and bad times. But I believe that as long as your good times overshadow the bad, to have the commitment, to have the endurance, to keep on fighting, to never to look at the bad part, but look always at the future that you can achieve, and then believe in yourself that you can achieve it. And that is the inspiring part. So, yeah, I enjoyed that part.
And while running your business, obviously you were quite the adrenaline junkie. What kinds of adventures did you get up to? I mean, I assume some of that boyhood, in your past kind of crept through.
I think I am still a little bit of an adrenaline junkie. Anything that includes speed and makes your heart race and pumping and that scary feeling part of it, I think that was the nice thing. But yes, I've done some scuba diving, the normal scuba diving, skydiving. I've done enduro racing, anything that get your adrenaline flowing. That was my passion.
And what was your favorite one?
I don't think you will believe me that really, in the sense that I'm saying so adrenaline rush, but the scuba diving was actually for me so nice and relaxing to be in another world. The moment you go under and you go and have a look at the different reefs and fishes, and it's like it's another world. You forget about anything else. So I really enjoyed that actually the most.
So at the peak of your life and your career, your accident happened. Can you take us back to the moments that followed that?
I can. I wouldn't say it's my favorite memories, but basically being outgoing and so forth, friends and I, we decided on a Friday evening that we were going to have a little bit of a dance and a couple of drinks and so forth, and which we've done. And during the course of the evening, I realized, but I didn't eat really today and I wasn't feeling well. So then I thought it well, as I'm supposed to do, give my car keys to somebody that I thought was still able to drive. And on the way home, literally 1 kilometer from home, the guy lost control over the vehicle and we bumped into a tree and a fence and a lot of things. and I wasn't strapped with my safety belt. So with the impact, I went forward, broke my neck against the front window.
Oof.
Then the airbags deployed and pushed me through the side window of the car. I can't remember anything of that anyway. That is what I know. But when the ambulance people came, they picked me up for dead. They said, I will never make hospital. There's no way. My injury is too severe. I won't even see a hospital. When I got there, they said, okay, we'll have to treat this guy somewhere. So then after a while, when I survived, I went for the surgery. Then they told my parents that I'm going to be a vegetable. I'll be lying on a bed. I won't be able to speak. I won't be able to do anything. What you see now lying on the bed is what you have to deal with. And that was tough for my parents. I still can't remember that. The first time that I have a recollection is when I woke up in hospital and my head was full of wires and there's a lot of stuff stabilizing me. And then I wanted to move and I see but doesn't work. My hands doesn't move, nothing. And I wanted to greet my dad next to the bed and nothing happens. Then I just got quiet. My dad says, yes, you are. That was for me terrifying, really, to know that I'm now quadriplegic, totally dependable on everybody to do anything for me, dress you, feed you, wash you. No, that was terrifying. So then I was fortunate to say that the Lord gave my hand function back to me. I broke my neck on C6, 7, and T1. I know that there's a lot of medical professional people out there that would say that to do this, fine motorized skills, is physically not possible. And they're right. It is physically not possible. Medically speaking, no. But the Lord gave my hands back to me. And since that day, I made a promise to say that I will never go back to, I don't want to live, I don't want to see this. I don't want to endure this. And that's where I made a promise and a commitment to fight, to get back. So, yeah, that's my journey from there.
So that obviously spurred your rehabilitation process. How long were you in hospital for, and how was the rehabilitation process like?
Challenging. The accident took place in January 2006. I only got out of hospital at the end of August. I was about eight months in hospital and rehabilitation.
Wow.
It took me 3 months to be able to hold a knife and a fork, to be strong enough to do that. But with a lot of hard work, endurance, fight, the reason why I kept on fighting was to get independence, to be able to transfer myself, to dress myself and stuff like that. So that was my biggest fight. And my biggest fight is in your head to say, but why me? And just to cut that negative thoughts out, I think that's the most challenging part. But the rehabilitation is hard work, dedication, keep on going. Yeah, you get your good days, you get your bad days, and not to be discouraged with the bad days. But it took me 8 months to be able to assist myself and help myself and to get out of the rehabilitation.
So you were a quadriplegic for quite some time. How did you mentally and emotionally navigate this period? I know we briefly touched on it.
I'm going to take it with another angle. Yes, it's a conscious decision that you need to take. And I would say you have to take that daily. But to have an end goal, to have a purpose, to have something that you want to work towards, that makes it easier. But when I got out, basically, when I realized I was a quadriplegic, the things that bothered me the most, except for self-hygiene and all of that, was my son was, at that stage, I think 3 years old. Oh. And the thought of, I will never be a good dad to him. But which is untrue, but the idea that I can't play ball with him, I can't do things with my son, that inspired me to see how far I can push myself to be able to do things. But he taught me a lesson very early in his life, and I don't think he really realized it. But it's not what you do with him. It's the fact that you are willing to do something with him. Yes, we still play ball. I couldn't kick it, but I can throw it. Yes, we did went to the beach. Not so easy, but there's a way. So it's not the fact that I can't do it with him. It's the fact that I am doing it with him and the way that you want to do it. That changes. So that made the one definite big influence on how to get over myself. Then the second highlight was during that period of time, I met my wife, Anna-Marie, and she inspired me a lot, and she still does that today. Her support, her understanding, her willingness to assist, she inspires me, and that makes life much easier. So how to overcome things? You must have support, you must have a goal, and you must have special people in your life.
And I take it they were what helped motivate to push you forward and rebuild your life after the accident.
Most definitely, most definitely. It's again, you must have goals, you must have a purpose. And the moment you lose focus on that, you're losing your determination.
How did your career evolve after your recovery? How did the path change?
I would say the recovery part was hard work and so forth. But what I didn't realize is it's even more hard work to get back onto your feet. Yes, now I'm glad, I'm excited, I'm able to move myself in the transfer. But life goes on. What next? And it was difficult. So I went back to own company type of thing, my own business, tried to do some freelancing. Yes, I was now a little bit more restricted with movement and all of that. So you had to think of other ways to do it. And it was extremely difficult. It was bad times. It wasn't really a success. I thought I was ready for it, but I didn't really succeed. Maybe I was holding myself back a little bit. I don't know. But it wasn't the best time. I made some bad decisions, especially financially. I was financially ruined at a certain stage. I lost my house. I lost everything except my wife. She stuck with me. But that part was difficult. I did everything I can that I thought it's possible just to try to get on with life again, just to get a little bit of a financial income, just to get up and running again. But it was difficult. Sometimes worse than others, but it was not. You cope. You cope.
And is this period what led you towards Training Portal?
Yeah. The biggest issue at that stage was, as I said, financial stability, which I didn't really have. And I saw the advertisement with Training Portal and the opportunity. And I thought that I've tried doing everything myself now, it doesn't work. So let's try to enter the employment market again. And it's a facilitator job, which I can do. I'm conversant with that. So let's go and do that. So then I applied for the position. And Tony Grieger, which we all know as one of the directors, he took a chance on me and he invited me for an interview. I think he was skeptic, but he won't say it. But,
Don't worry, my interview was the same.
He gave me a chance, and I am absolutely grateful for that opportunity that him and Training Portal offered me at that stage to become part of this diverse team. I mean, we are an awesome bunch of people, departments working together. And today, I am so grateful to that. But he took a chance, and I'm very glad that I've got the opportunity to be part of Training Portal.
We're definitely making some big movements in the industry, and it's an exciting time for the company.
Yeah, most definitely.
Before we dive deeper into the interview, let's take a moment to explore how Training Portal helps individuals and businesses grow through skills development.
At Training Portal, we are proud to be a leader in skills development consulting and a multi-accredited training academy committed to solving your unique challenges through innovative and cost-effective solutions. Whether you are looking to enhance your team's skills, comply with industry regulations, or maximize your BEE scores, our extensive range of over 300 short courses and more than 30 fully accredited qualifications cover all your needs. From agriculture to information technology, our CETA and QCTO accredited qualifications are designed to provide comprehensive learning experiences. We tailor our training programs to fit your specific requirements, ensuring maximum benefits within your available resources.
Our innovative learning platform allows for flexible, self-paced study, available both on-site at your premises and through our Training Portal campuses all across South Africa. With Training Portal, you achieve more than your training outcomes. You gain a partner who stands by you from the initial consultation through to the continuous management of your training program. Now let's get back into the episode.
So how has your journey been within the company of Training Portal?
Very exciting, challenging, but I first started in, as I said, as a facilitator with Training Portal. I was the first facilitator with the first 20 external learners that we trained at Training Portal. And I started presenting lectures to them and starting the training, sorting out how are we doing it and what works and what doesn't work and so forth. So as we grew, we reached our capacity at the venue that we were hiring and or renting. And then we opened up our first campus in Park Road. And we had a little bit more learners, and that grew up to a point where I couldn't facilitate everything at that stage. So we appointed then extra hands to help and assist, extra tutors, the academic personnel, facilitators to assist. And I was fortunate to say that at that stage I didn't facilitate as much anymore. So I then became a little bit managing the training. So then I became training manager.
Okay.
And as we grew, the training management position was very exciting. It was something new instead of just facilitating. But because of the background, it became easier. Also up to a certain extent where that wasn't enough. We expanded to get more campuses. And the workload came a little bit more, and the administration was a little bit more. And Leandri Pretorius, who was also then an assessor at that stage, I pulled her in to become the training administrator. And I'm thankful for her. She is doing an awesome job.
Definitely
Very
your right
hardworking.
hand.
My right
hand woman, you know.
Yeah, I know. I'll never be able to manage all my tasks without her. So I'm very grateful for her. But then she became the administrator, and I was only then managing the training and the training personnel and the programs and all of that. And as the company grew, as you know, now we have campuses in Vereniging, Welkom, Stellenbosch, and now the new one has opened up and now in Katu.
With plans for more?
And plans for more to expand. And we have the community campuses also now in Stellenbosch and in Katu, and we are going to open two new ones now, one in Rustenburg and one in Witbank, and I'm very excited about it.
And it's a lot to have to manage.
Yeah, so then the training manager side, I've moved more to the strategic growth of the company and the expansions and so forth. And I got involved in that, and I'm very thankful because it's so inspiring to be part of this whole process. And now I'm the academic manager. So I've moved up a lot, and Training Portal gave me the opportunity to grow with them and give me more tasks, more responsibilities, and I love it. But currently now I'm the academic manager.
So share more about your current role as the academic manager.
I would say the first of utmost important part of my current role is the accreditation. Training Portal needs to have courses that we can sell to our clients, that we can do some training with and so forth. So the first thing is the accreditation part. As you know, the CETAS has now changed a little bit and evolved now and moved over to QCTO, and we have to apply for accreditation with the QCTO. So we started off with one course, and now we have plenty.
We started off with business practice.
No, but that's CETA qualifications.
I know.
I need a project manager for QCTO, and currently we have a lot of opportunities that's visible on our website. People can go and have a look there. But I would say my first important role is the accreditation.
Getting
because
accreditation.
without accreditation, without
can't do
courses,
anything.
we can't go forward. So that's my primary one. Then secondly, managing all the different training facilities and the courses that's being presented there. Overseeing the campus coordinators, managing then the academic staff with their roles and responsibilities, what they do, how they do it, how can we improve our training strategies to overcome barriers like people that are struggling to complete, or giving more, let's say, in-post training on how to handle disabled learners. Because disabled learners, not everybody's in a wheelchair. There's a lot of other disabilities as well.
Yeah.
And we need to upskill our staff to be able to assist those
With
other
any sort of
disabilities.
disabilities.
Yes, so that's also a very big function that I like to pursue a lot. We have currently around about a little bit more than 600 learners that's currently in the system that still needs to exit. So that whole exiting process is something different as well. And yeah, I think, as I said, I'm very excited about the growth, and as part of my task and so forth is to look for other opportunities as well, and to be part of the strategic growth for the company.
But you also manage all the academic staff along with everything from all our facilitators to our tutors to our assessors. That's a lot of extra people to manage.
Yeah, but it's exciting as well. I'm a people's person, so I like to work with people. But because of the capacity, we are using also external assessors and moderators, and to deal with them, to make sure that they are staying abreast, because they are not at the campus, and make sure that they are doing their work and as expected. So management of the staff, I enjoy it a lot, but it's all about commitment, it's all about communication, and then it becomes natural. The moment you get the buy-in of the people, because they are also looking after Training Portal, they are looking for the best interest for Training Portal. I think I've instilled that culture of what can I do today to improve my learners for Training Portal to be a success.
I love that.
And I think that is one of my passions that I think I instilled with the personnel.
And if you had to say what your biggest challenge of the job is, what would it be? Because, I know your job has got challenges.
I would say there's only two big challenges, and it's external factors. External factors that we don't control. The first of all is the accreditation. As I just said about with the QCTO, things are changing. There's every now and then new rules, new hoops that you need to jump through to stay abreast on all of those. I think the biggest challenge, or one of them, the first one I would say definitely is the accreditation with the QCTO. The second challenge is with our learners that are not completing, that are not getting the competency. So my second challenge is to get the competency rate of the company up, so that we have lesser people that drops off, lesser people that do not complete, they are only there to attend. So my second biggest challenge is competency. I want us to be on the forefront of when people exit our programs, they must be knowledgeable, they must be employable. So I don't want to do training for the sake of training.
Exactly.
For us, it's about empowering our learners. It's giving them opportunities, giving them hope, giving them something to work for, making them ready to enter
Go
the
out
workforce.
into the world, yeah.
Workforce is the biggest issue at the moment for disabled people. People are reluctant to employ people with disabilities. So one of my biggest challenges is to prepare our learners for that, but to get their commitment and to get them on a competency rate, to make an influence on our knowledge transfer. I don't want to say that, but this learner completed his qualification at Training Portal, but he doesn't have a slightest idea what he's doing.
No, we want them to know,
Yeah.
to exit and have an idea of what the course is about.
Yeah. So those are my challenges.
Okay, but then on the flip side, there's always going to be good things about the job. What do you enjoy most about being the academic manager?
That answer is very simple. My job. I love my work. I love what I'm doing. I'm excited what I'm doing. I've got a passion with what I'm doing. So in a nutshell, positive side, my job, point.
Oh, I love that. That's how I feel too. I just feel like we've got some of the best jobs.
Oh, yeah.
And we make such a difference. Like, honestly, I think a lot of people will say, yes, everyone makes a difference in the world, but we know we are making a difference.
Yeah.
So as a leader, what key leadership insights or advice would you share with our audience listening today?
If you want to become a leader, irrespective of what level, I think one of the most important things is integrity. To be a leader, you need integrity. Then I would say secondly is commitment. If you commit to do something, then do it fully. Don't stop halfway. Don't get discouraged. Don't get distracted. Commitment. So once you become or want to be a leader, you need to be committed to a job, and it must be proven, not said. That's different. I would say the next point would be loyalty. You must be loyal to your work. You must be loyal to your staff. You must be loyal to the company. You must be loyal to even the learners. I know it sounds difficult, but loyalty pays off on the long run. I don't mean with loyalty that you must just accept everything and say yes to everything. No, that's not it. But you mustn't put yourself first. Put other people first. And manage that to let them grow as well. So that's part of leadership for me. I think the loyalty also makes a huge difference. I know I say this a lot, but planning. If you want to be a leader, you need to plan. And the planning must be thinking outside the box. Put your problem, put your objective, put whatever you want in this box. Then see how you can evolve on that. How can you prosper on that? How can you make this better? But then also look at the flip side. What are influences? What are maybe negative things? So plan for contingencies. Plan for
the good and the bad.
Yes. So I would say planning. Without that, you are lost. You can change a plan, but you need a plan. So planning. The next will be, now you've got your plan, you've got your objectives, you've got all of those, but it's about taking responsibility for your plan and your actions and to make sure that it is a success. So taking responsibility, there's two sides again. Taking responsibility when everything goes well and you get praised. Then you say, hey,
I'm the one who did it right.
I'm the one who did that. Once it failed,
I didn't do anything wrong, they did.
Yeah, then you find excuses. So take responsibility for your planning, your projects, for everything. And then the second part that people sometimes forget is that there's an accountability part as well. So it's not only the responsibility, but it's also the accountability.
Have to be accountable for what you do wrong.
Yeah. And that comes with your commitment. It's your project, it's or whatever. You need to take the accountability part as well. If you are a leader, you're not a leader for yourself. You are forming part of a team. You are always then part of somebody else. You are responsible for them or they are responsible for you, but you have influences on other people. And that's teamwork. And teamwork, I think it's just as important because you as one person have got one perspective. Even though I'm saying you must think outside the box or whatever, you still have one perspective. But if you are a leader, you need to lead a team and you need to lead other people. So get them involved, get their opinions. I don't say you must always adhere to what they say, but get that other perspective. Team building, team spirit is essential to being a leader. If you are leading like Donnie is leading us, He inspires us. He gives us so many opportunities, and he values our inputs. It's not to say that yes, our inputs will be put forward or whatever all the time, but he values it, and he discusses with you. So teamwork, according to me, is one of the most important parts of being a leader. And then being part of a team is open communication. Don't be afraid to have open communication with your team. Get the inputs and also communicate with them. There's a lot of leaders that they don't want to give their opinions to their subordinates because they feel that maybe they think I'm inferior or maybe they don't like my ideas or whatever. But open communication is a two-way street. And that inspires leadership.
It does. But I mean, I love your point of open communication. And it's not just employees who are afraid to have open communication with you as a leader, but also you having open communication with your leaders, like Dani, or even other leaders like other departments. I mean, I know our departments work quite well together, and that's because we are quite open, and if you need assistance or if I need assistance, we communicate it to each other and we see where we can kind of fill in those gaps.
Most definitely.
So what are your future goals, both personally and professionally, moving forward?
I think I've said this previously as well. Personally, I've got only one goal in life. Only one.
And what is that?
I want to be a better person today in all aspects than I was yesterday. I want to learn from today's mistakes to improve my life for tomorrow. So I want to be a better person today than I ever was yesterday or the day before. So that's my personal objective point. Just to be a better person.
I recently had an interview with someone who said something very similar, and he said before he goes to bed at night, he lies in bed and he asks himself one question, and the question is, what did I do today that betters who I was yesterday? And I think that adds so much to what you were just saying, where what are we doing now that is adding to what we were yesterday? How are we bettering ourselves? So what about professionally, though? Where do you see your future goals there?
Professionally, I'm gonna die with Training Portal. I'm just lying. No, I'm just kidding. But I want to be part of Training Portal's growth. I want to be part of the vision that we have. I want to see us expanding. I want to see us excelling. I want to see us as the best training provider in the country. And we're getting there.
We are.
I know we're definitely getting there.
And so fast as well.
So my professional, I just want to be with Training Portal, being part of the expansion, the excelling of the company, getting more responsibilities, making more successes. That's my professional goal.
I love that. I'm exactly the same. I mean, Training Portal, like we said, it's rapidly expanding. And we are doing so much good out there in communities that previously were so disadvantaged, did not have things. I mean, like you've mentioned the community centers earlier. These are places that don't have places like community centers where they can go and upskill themselves. They don't have to be doing learnerships. They're just learning. I think Training Portal is doing so much good, but I must say, I don't think we would be doing so much good if we did not have you, as like our backbone. I mean, like we said, we can't do courses without accreditation. We can't do courses without our tutors, our facilitators, our assessors, who you manage. I mean, there would be no Training Portal without Anton.
No, I wouldn't say that. Without my position, maybe yes. But yeah, I'm very glad and fortunate to be part of this. As I'm saying, I'm so excited on a daily basis to go and do my job. And that's inspiring for me.
And it definitely comes through in your work and how you are with learners and the staff. You can see that you love what you do. I mean, I think everyone at Training Portal loves what we do. And we're not just saying this because we know our boss is listening. But it's definitely, I think, it comes through. And that's why we are striving towards all these differences.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But Anton, I want to thank you so much for sitting down with me again for another podcast. I know you find these quite daunting, but it's always so enjoyable to just sit down and have a chat with you.
Not a problem. I am getting more used to this and I'm looking forward to future discussions.
Absolutely. Who knows? Maybe you host it next.
No.
Next time on the Training Portal podcast.
Go to their heads.
Mm-hmm.
They are going to believe that they are untouchable, and then they may fall off their pedestals with dramatic consequences. Whereas ordinary people who do their level best and who are honest, high integrity and competent, they achieve more sustainable success.